G'day mateys and welcome to a new episode. Today we are going to start a new series which I'm going to call From Trash to Treasure. Story behind this, we have a PS4 with a couple of cables wrapped around it. I took the dogs for a walk on Sunday and I noticed one of my neighbours had a big pile of rubbish out the front of his house, hard rubbish as we call it here in Australia, and I spotted what I thought was a PS4, so I thought I'll check that out on the way home. So I took a slightly longer dog walk than normal so I could back around that way, and when I came back around, lo and behold, there was a PS4 sat on top of an old washing machine. So I grabbed it, walked the rest of the way home, and I thought we'll chuck it on the bench today, check it out, see if we can fix it, and if we can, might actually add this one to my collection, but we'll see if we can get it working first, and then we'll value what it would be worth if it works. So why I sort of grabbed it is because it still had leads hanging out of it. So that generally means that it probably just instantly stopped working or something, and they just unplugged it, wrapped the leads up, put it to a side, bought a new PS4 or a new PS5, and off they went. So let's check it out. So undo the cables. I've actually got some cable I prepared earlier just to the side, so we'll take these ones off like so. Let's do a visual inspection. HDMI port actually looks good, so I don't think that's going to be an issue. Let's get my leads. So, magic leads. There we go. In we go, like so. Before we turn this on, we're going to have to set this over onto HDMI. So let's see if it actually wants to work for us today. Here we go. I think we are on HDMI port 3. So let's hit the power button, and will it turn on? Oh, we have blue. We have some signal. Look at that. We have a PlayStation logo. Is it going to work? I can actually hear a bit of a ticking sound. The hard drive sounds a little noisy, so maybe that's what's wrong. Oh, here we go. Still blue up here. It hasn't gone to white though. But we've got a picture, so it's not going to be an APU issue. Well, I think we'll just leave that running for a while, and we might have to come back.
A few moments later.
So clearly, we have an issue.
12 seconds later.
Screwdriver, PS4 remote, and a lead. So, still pulsing blue. Not a good sign. We still have a picture going on. Let's pop this into one of the USBs, which I can't see from the back. So, okay, it's charging. I think we'll just leave that go and see what happens.
Much later.
Look, I've just been off to the side waiting. So we have something going on. That is the world's longest boot. I reckon that's been a good 10 minutes. You wouldn't want to be in a rush to play your game. It's still deciding what it's doing. We do have a white light, which is a big thumbs up, means the hardware is good. I think we have an issue with the hard drive. But what we need to know is what software version's on here, and a few other things. So I'm going to need a replacement hard drive, I think, to do this. To get the hard drives off on these, it's quite simple. This plastic cover here, you just push down on it, and it slides over. and then it just pulls off. Or it's meant to just pull off. There we go, cover off. So here's where the hard drive lives. There's a screw just here that we'll have to remove. You can actually hear that. I'll come down closer so you can actually see if you can hear that. So it's a dug 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 dug. So someone might remix that and make me kind of look cool. So that's a read-write error on the head. So it's trying to read a bit of data, trying again, trying a third time, then moves off and comes back again. So it's definitely a hard drive issue. If we can find out what version software this is, we can put a new one in and bump it up, because there are now some jailbreaks available for these. And that would kind of be a bit of fun to do in the future. Oh, we've got something happening here. The swoosh has moved.
5 minutes later.
So after leaving that for a very long time, we've finally got this up on the screen. So let's get our controller, push the PS button. Okay. So user 1. And that's taking a long time. So definitely a hard drive issue. I just want to find out what software version it is, so we can then put the software onto this USB stick, load it in here, pop in the new hard drive. I happen to have a 1 terabyte hard drive floating around. This is a 7200 RPM one out of a laptop. Okay, good, we're getting some stuff up along the top. So let's go across to the menu. Settings. Now I can put any new software version on this, but if it's got an old one, it's probably better for me to keep it there. So I just really want to know what's on here. So what I might have to do is leave this go for a while, and then we'll come back.
24 hours later.
And look at that. As soon as I left, it came on. So what we want to do is scroll down. We want to have a look at system just here. System information. Oh look, it is an early software, so it's version 5.5. So what I need to do, I'll jump on my computer over in the corner and I will download the setup file for a version 5.5. We'll put in the new hard drive and then we get to boot off this USB stick. You need to put the software on in the correct order on the USB stick, otherwise it won't boot. So just a normal FAT32, and you're going to need at least 1 gigabyte from memory. This one here is a ScanDisk 16 gig, so plenty of room. You need to make a folder on there, and I will put links to what folders you've got to put on there. We'll cut to some desktop footage and we're doing that, and we'll get this happening. So, best thing for me to do now is to turn this off. So we'll hold in the power button. And it's now shutting it down, so we'll wait until it's fully shut down and we'll pull this hard drive out. Preparing to turn off the PS4. They take a real long time to turn off. And all the time it's flashing, don't pull the power. Otherwise you'll be loading more software. Just let it go click. Waiting for that pulsing to disappear. And there we go. That's now safe for me to unplug. So we'll unplug the power here. So the power is out. And we'll now remove the hard drive. So just go in here with a screw. Move that particular screw. There it is off to the side. And this whole hard drive caddy slides out. Like so. We pull that out. When we flip it over, you'll see where the hard drive is, and on the sides here we have the screws to remove. So we'll quickly remove those and we'll get a replacement hard drive that looks the same in there. So let's get this done. So, as you've seen, we've installed a replacement hard drive. It's a 1 terabyte, 7,200 RPM. Now the hard drive technically didn't cost me anything because that was sat on my shelf because I pulled it out of an old laptop a while ago when I replaced that one to a 2 terabyte drive. But, you know, second-hand market, one of those is probably about 25, 30 bucks. Not terribly expensive. New one, probably about $50 mark. So yeah. So what we've done, we've gone to put our software, 5.5 software onto the USB stick. We've got our controller plugged in because it needs to be plugged in. Apparently when I turn this on, it should boot into what they call safe mode. When it boots in safe mode, it should then have a look and look if there's any software missing, which of course it's a blank hard drive, so it should be. It will read the software off the USB stick and then install it. So let's watch this and see if I can get it to work. I've plugged the power already back in, so let's hit the power button. Sounding good so far. Here we go, picture. Take a little while because it's going to do all of its usual checks. It will see that there's nothing on the hard drive. And then eventually it should start booting off the USB stick. I should have probably grabbed a USB stick that had a LED on it that flashes so we know when it's accessing it. But anyhow, something's going on here. It's restarting up again. Cannot start PS4, connect dual shock with USB cable, which we have done. So we'll push connect storage device or an update file, which we have a storage device in, so we'll go over. We'll select. Please wait. So now what it should do, it should actually read the file that's on here, the update file. It will decompress it and store it in the PlayStation's memory. And then it should start installing it and preparing the hard drive. So it makes all the partitions on the hard drive, puts the software down. If it's an upgraded version of software, it will also flash the firmware in the unit. But no, I was able to find 5.5 on a web page. So it should put that all over and we'll see a progress bar coming up very shortly.
Much later.
So it's going to ask us a question here. The PS4 will be initialized. All users, all data will be deleted. Am I sure I want to continue? Well, there's nothing on this hard drive. And I'm pretty sure I do want to continue. So we'll go yes. Please do not turn off. So keep our hands to ourselves. Don't trip over any cables. And hopefully this will do what it's meant to. That's going quite quickly. Look at that. Now it's installing the software. I should really say it's preparing the software. And we'll come back when the screen changes. So it's just doing a reboot. That hard drive sounds much healthier than the other one. So we go. System software update. So it's actually going to update the software this time around. I believe there'll be quite a few different reboots. And here we go, it's actually now doing the install. So we will leave this go and I'll come back to you guys very soon.
2,000 years later.
So here we are at 98%, we're getting closer. 100. And another reboot. Fingers crossed. Did it fix it? More updating.
Much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
Sony logo, going well. There we go, Sony logo. So initial setup. Yes, we've got a controller. English United Kingdom. That'll do. Don't think they have an English Australia. No, English UK. Internet connection, next. Checking, checking, checking. we'll go set up later. We'll skip that. Sydney, that's about correct. Next, yeah, that's all good. Accept, you have no choice. Start now. And there we go, one working. Look at that, I can actually scroll through here, and let's see how quick it goes in settings this time. Instantly. Great. Okay, so let's try a disc. So here we go. I have Battlefield 4. So I don't know if the disk drive works. So let's pop it out and see if it works. Takes a disc in. That's a good sign. Will it pop up here? I can hear it spinning up. It's in the corner. Yes, look at that. It works. We'll check that because I don't actually want to install it. Does it eject happily? That's nice and smooth, not jerky at all. So, all we have to do is put this piece back on. Slide it over. You can tell I've never worked on a PS4 before. There we go, and that is all done. So we can pull the USB stick out. That worked, fantastic. And it's running great. So I'm going to quickly shut it down and we'll restart it in real time. And we'll show you how quickly this is meant to start up. Turn it off. We will wait. So that's our first episode, Trash to Treasure. I've gone to do a little bit of Googling on eBay and had a bit of a look at what they're selling for. So this is a 1TB PS4, the fat model, with a controller. They're going between $220 and $280 at the time of recording, which is January 2022. That sounds so strange. So if I want to sell that, I'd make a really quick profit because the hard drive didn't really cost me anything. If I had to buy one, about 30 to 40 bucks, Australian dollars. So that'd be a quick, basically a quick $200 in profit. But I actually am going to hold on to this and put it in my games room. So let's turn it on and see how quick before the picture comes up this time round. Now it's all working. I'm assuming it's going to be much quicker. There we go. Log in. We'll skip that for now. And there we go. That's much, much quicker. Fantastic. So thank you very much, guys, for tuning in today. Don't forget, click on that subscribe button, like it, share it, whatever you like. We'll do a few more of these trash pickups. I've got a box of bits that's been given to me by a friend of mine. I do a few repairs for him, and often part of the payment is I get some older stuff off him, and there's a couple of Xbox originals in there. I think there's a couple of PlayStation 2s, maybe PlayStation 1, and that's all one big box. So we'll do that as a big Trash to Treasure special. Thanks for watching. That's my dogs in the background, so that means it's time to say goodbye. See you later.